More Rostermania going on, yes, but it is mostly Apex drama going on inside the world of esports right now. What is happening and why is this continuously holding Apex esports back, it seems? There's a lot to dive into and discuss, really mainly one topic, but yes, let's talk about some of the roster updates as well in this. Heroes, if you guys have not seen, a couple of days ago, the organization unfortunately comes to an end. After 4 years of passion, hard work, and unforgettable moments, we've made the difficult decision to shut down the structure. We gave everything to this project a success, and without ever taking a single euro for ourselves. But the results weren't enough. The expected visibility never came, and unexpected costs ultimately drained our resources. And yet we're still proud of what we accomplished with limited means. We got top 2 at BLGS, top 26 at World Cup playoffs, and top 32 at the Esports World Cup. We supported exceptional talents, reached the global stage, and shared a deeply human journey that will stay with us forever. So if you haven't seen it, Team Heroes no longer going to be an organization. Also, Sorcerer has now been added to the ROC roster. This is with Deeds & Co. And then also Capreme added to the Virtus Pro roster as a coach. I thought it was funny. Virtus Pro actually came out to say, we got some roster changes. And everybody was like, no way. You got to be kidding me. But it is a new coach. And that's what was shortly posted out on Apex Rostermania. Also, Kimchi has been added into Fusion, the Fusion roster. Now, if you guys are not familiar with this roster, they did just win scrim results last night. So you've got Kimchi, you've got Dan Manic, and then also you've got January, which, by the way, another exceptional talent that I just feel like gets overlooked quite a bit. But then you've got Falcons in second, Liquid in third. You've also got, ROC in fourth, LG in fifth. So really good showing from that roster. Then over the last couple of days, you've had some more as well. Like, for instance, some podiums to mention here. You've had Envy up here, Twisted Minds up here. You've also had SimJ MX up here. You've also, just a couple of days ago, had Shopify Rebellion. You had Twisted Minds again, Envy. So that's back-to-back podiums for these guys, or back over the weekend. So that was Friday. Falcon Esports, Sentinels, Fusion again. So pretty similar stuff, right? You're seeing some of the same teams podium back-to-back times. So we'll see, obviously, if this consistency does continue on. Now, here's where we get into some other consistency, unfortunate consistency in the Apex esports scene, and that is bad management, bad hosts, and just unfortunate stuff going on inside of these other tournaments that are community style, community based, whatever you want to call it, but they're not the official ALGS. We've seen so many mishaps. The biggest one probably to think was the Her Galaxy stuff, where these women played in a women's tournament and it was lots of money, never got paid out, and then the org gets shut down. There's some drama going on. I think Her Galaxy also had some other problems with another game about not being paid out. It was a, we'll pay you later, we're getting to it, never happened. So, like, how many times have we seen orgs host tournaments and problems start to happen? Well, this one was a little bit different. This one's a little crazy. So it's a $10,000 CCE. If you don't know CCE, probably one of the bigger scrim Discord communities out there. Pretty popular inside of this tier 2 scene, like always looking for rising talent, always kind of hosting these events. And Rambo comes out because a lot of pro teams were competing in this, or top challenger teams at least, and saying, in my 5 years of competing, I have never played in a more poorly ran tournament and have never been screwed over like this ever. Top 4 with 10 kills on match point to win, and the game is just randomly ended, and the admin says it, quote, just magically ended. This is such BS. And, tag CCE. And if you haven't seen the clip, you're watching it in the background. Top 4, they are killing it, and match ended. They're in a great spot here to win the game. He also says, I also understand mistakes happen, but zero accountability has been taken whatsoever, and it is just gross. Games do not just end. It takes multiple steps to stop a game. And Nasky, many people would go on to support this and say, if they don't reward you with first place, they're just scammers at this point. And everybody, what's a bunch of weirdos? Yeah, that's insane. Nobody was getting behind CCE. You would see Hambino also come out 10 kills in a god spot. You can't make this up. This is BS. And then also Panic, former teammate of this roster, comes out saying the fact that CCE 10K tournament, they were top 4 on match point and they ended the game while they had Godspot. Pathetic org, and of course scamming other people. That's embarrassing. What is wrong with this org? Also, basically saying, they should have gotten the money for first place. This is pathetic, and bad people behind it. Here's where things get crazy. The org owner or the org itself would come out to say official statement about the in-game Game 8. They claim it was a bug. We're looking into the issue that occurred. We understand that it affected players that it happened to and potentially griefed their win on day one of the series. The team's winnings could have been $750 if they won the game and were brought down to $300 as they placed third in the event following another 2 matches. We understand that the game triggered by a, quote, end match by admin screen, making it seem like the game was ended by one of our admins, which 100% it was not to be the case. We know that for certain. Ivan nor Mr. Foxy, who were the only 2 admins in the series, ended the match. It was not done on accident or on purpose. So saying that neither one of the admins pressed that button. We will look into the issue with the correct people and make another statement as soon as we get word on the issue. For the time being, we offer to reimburse the roster an additional $200 to round up to the prize winnings to $500. As we understand, they could have easily won match 8, and it's not a small amount of money they missed out on. We don't want anyone mistaking this as an act of admitting fault in any way. Have a good night. The clip in question and shows what's going on. You can even see like sarcasm. Scrappy comes out to say reimbursement shows authenticity of the organization. That's coming straight out of Ivan's pocket. When have y'all ever donated back to the community? That's right. Y'all can't even pay y'all's bills with your Twitch money. I get it. So at first I kind of thought Scrappy was just throwing shade at the org, but honestly I think it was more legit. But as time would go on, everybody would like continuously turn against CCE. And I don't really think many people were digging their response. Here's where things get crazy. The owner itself, the guy who's running this show, comes out to start trying to explain himself. And as you could see, it doesn't end well. The guy literally deactivates his account. I'll try my best to try to, portray a lot of this. I am a little bit late to it, but literally was saying, first off, panic. How could you say this? This is like a crazy thing to say. Calling us bad people behind the org. You don't even know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. And then also the girlfriend of Rambo comes out to say it can't be done by a bug. It's not a bug. This is literally not a realistic thing to say that, oh, it was a bug. Just admit that it was an accident because this is just not true. And then he literally calls her an idiot, like calling one of the players an idiot on the timeline as the org owner is just a crazy, crazy thing to make. Now, he did say that he, filed some kind of thing for EA to see if they would respond. There's been no word on that yet, and nobody really believes it. And I've seen so many other people that have ran tournaments and just say, look, this has never been a bug. No one has ever said it was a bug. Yes, there was a new update, but it's been out for a little bit, and you would have thought that maybe this bug would be reported by now. Why are you just magically the only person it's happened to? So no one was buying the fact that they obviously just griefed this team. On top of that, it does not look good whatsoever that the owner himself deletes the account. I mean, the account no longer existing is obviously not good. But, I mean, you could see from the comments, people were saying, like, wow, seems like blaming it on a bug is their way of covering themselves. I've watched thousands of ALGS and scrims, and I've never seen a bug like that. They 100% did that. And, it doesn't look good, obviously, that he went on to delete his account as well. So CCE may have just absolutely tainted their reputation for the rest of time. I don't really know if you bounce back from this. They've obviously been a good presence in the scene for a while, but after something like this happens, I don't know where you go from here. It obviously was a bad one, and this has just kind of been what was blowing up over the last couple of days. So, yes, roster stuff happening, and, orgs obviously making changes, making swaps, and scrim results are going in, and you're seeing some teams do good, but, like, all the show was stole this weekend by the drama of the CCE tournament. Interested to see what you guys are thinking going into this Pro League split. Which teams are you looking out for? Honestly, I think Fusion is one to heavily consider. And I'm pretty happy for Kimchi. I think it's a really good roster addition, and they obviously seem to be having some sort of mojo. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with everything going on inside the world of Apex Legends esports. And until the next time, we'll see you all later.